All right, I'm live. I do want to watch this legal eagle thing. All right. All right, I am live. So apparently, we're under some kind of ill-advised warning here in ill-advised warning, a weather warning here for some ill weather. And right now it's okay, but I'm definitely gonna have to go outside and secure some stuff and put it in the garage before for anything. Hopefully nothing is bad, but I've got a little bit of stuff that needs to come inside. But for now, we're gonna do some streaming. We're gonna continue our Shade Develops build. As of right now, we don't have too much going on. I want to implement some Ajax and stuff going in, but I also want to add some content to the other pages, like the podcast page. It's basically going to be filler content, at least for a little bit, until I actually start recording these podcasts and then putting them somewhere. I'm going to be recording them soon, on Anchor. Pretty excited about that. Maybe record my first one tonight, tomorrow sometime. Not really 100% sure, but yeah, looking forward to that. So today I'm going to give myself the painstaking task of just trying to add some content to the learn about the web development process and path to becoming a developer. The podcast, like I said, this is going to be episodes of a podcast laid out, so it's not really worried about that at the moment. So with everything working on, let's so we have developer education, which is going to be here, and then we're also going to have this is kind of also developer education, but it's more focused towards the business side of things. So why is it going all the way across like that? Oh, it might just be my computer. I don't know. Yeah, never mind. Ignore me. All right. So I said we have project one, or the Shade Develops project, and we need to start adding, like I said, some content, especially the one here. So learn about the web development process. That can be some pretty basic stuff. So what we could do is we could log into or go into Google and check on any questions or anything that people are having on the development process, and see if we can like answer them within the page, so that way we can maybe draw some attention over to over to me, really. I mean, over to the site is what we're trying to do, really. So let's make these buttons clickable at least. So go back to index. What is this? Podcast. Did I miss them? Oh, there it is. All right. So that's what developer educate. I'm missing. Ah, here it is. And this will be business education. It's basically business tech education, really, because we're not going to be in there talking, fancy numbers or anything like that. I may go back to Figma, just for like writing out like maybe what I want things to say, and finding some images that I can use to go with it. Right? Yeah. So back to Figma. I don't recall. I don't remember my login stuff, or even if I even had it. I'm sure I did. Right? Hold on one second. Let me. shoot, I've done something. All right, here we go. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So now I want just a new page. I don't really care about any of this other stuff. We're gonna talk about, that. I don't want to do that. We're going to talk about that web development process, mainly from like somebody's point of view who definitely doesn't understand. So we're going to talk about how like a website's broken up into parts, and these parts have different functionalities. Just like I would probably use a house analogy, just because I kind of like that one. Except for whenever it comes to the JavaScript part, like just maybe that's like your garage door opener or your water faucet. And then well, I come up with, I'm pretty sure I can make something work. Okay. Well, it says I'm live, but I can't see. Any chats, but there's no chats to see anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Really? Where did it? There it is. Put this right here. I know you guys can totally see what I'm doing, so I know it makes it easy to follow along. Okay, so that's that. We're moving on the way, right? We are continuing to doing my personal least favorite thing, just writing about stuff. Like I'm not very good at it, so I don't like doing it. So this is gas. Like I said, it's gonna be the web development process. I want it to be able to be understood by, anybody like new to business, or like I said, if they're wanting to understand, like I said, what's going on like with their website, not like in a personal level, but more like understanding what the people they're talking to are saying. From there, I think that's kind of the point I want to portray. Like break it down easy to understand. Yeah. All right. So you know what? I'm just gonna erase all of this because I don't care about it anymore. Erase. Goodbye. Oh no. Well, I need a. Well, I definitely need a background now. Can I just draw one? There we go. Yeah, got a frame. Nice. Can I get one? Okay, there we go. Is this Roboto? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of all this stuff. And then here we'll extend that out. All right, and then what do I want to say?
In this video,
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so sorry about that. That was loud as... All right. So... All right, let me see. Let me try and find Google Keyword Planner. See what I can come up with. I'm not sure if I want to show that on stream or not at the moment. Maybe. It might not be nothing. Okay, I'll show you. None of my ads are running. It's okay. All right. Swore I just heard something. I don't know what that was. All right. Discover new keywords. Just website help. Let's see what we get from that. I don't I don't really know. Help website. Maybe website creation. No. Help building website. Let's do that. But I wish I could find like specific questions. Twix, buddy, you want up here? Come on. You want help? Come here. Oh, I'm sore from yesterday's workout. I need to definitely stretch more. Oh, especially since I haven't worked out in a very long time. Okay. I need help building a website. Help me make a website. Help me build a website. Need help creating a website. I don't really know what I want to type here exactly. I know the idea that I really want to convey, but does it need to be conveyed? Do people want it to be conveyed? Is it even that big of a deal? I don't know. You know what? But it doesn't really matter. I'm going to build it anyway. And make it as fun as I can in the process. Anyway, the web development process. This section of information isn't for people who no. I want to try and describe the entire development process and what to expect. Bring this book up and out of the way. Okay. I want to try and describe the entire development process and what to expect from start to finish. to finish. Not only talking about just one way of development, but several. Not all businesses says, I want to try and describe the entire development process and what to expect from start to finish. Not only talking about just one way of development, but several. I don't expect anyone reading this to be exceptionally tech savvy. Just understand let me read that back out to myself again. I'm probably just going to be doing this over and over and over again for a while. So, super good times. Somebody asked a question. If you feel the sanity gripping or just dripping from me, I guess. I don't know how to, whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. Now, I want to try and describe the entire development process and what to expect from start to finish. Not only talking, you know what? I don't even know why I'm putting it in here, really. And technically, I should be more just throwing it into a Google Docs sheet. I think I might do that. Alright, so I got my Google Docs account. I'm just going to do a well, I got some stuff written out that I can use later. I totally forgot that I even wrote this stuff out. So apparently, I've been doing this for a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited to keep going, I guess. Yay. Okay. This one will be, let me just grab the stuff from Figma, right? The web development process. We'll make that the title. Savvy has 2 V's for that extra double dose of V's. V's. Alright. I want to try and describe the entire development process and what to expect from start to finish. But not from except it won't be. What's up, boo? Except it won't be from a, but it won't be for the perspective of a future developer, even though they would get some benefit from understanding this process as well. Will be for the average person trying to get a website built and doesn't know enough about I don't want to write this. It'll be for the average person struggling average person who could be struggling with just filling out some content for my webpage. Something I'm not very good at, so just writing basically. Not really excited about this. I don't do very well, but it's something that I gotta have. So for now, yeah, that's what I'm working on. What you working on, Ice Cream Man? It will be for the average person who could be struggling with getting their website off the ground at nearly any stage. I think that sounds good. I want to try and describe the entire development process and what to expect from start to finish. Expect it won't be for the perspective of a future developer, even though they would benefit from understanding this process as well. It'll be for the average person who could be struggling with getting their website off the ground at nearly any stage. Okay. For the average person who owns a business, oh, tomorrow's so this place isn't even open yet, huh? That's cool. Make some bacon ice cream and send it to me. I'll eat it. Maple bacon, brown sugar. Maple bacon, brown sugar, vanilla cherry. Dr. Pepper. Ice cream. Make that. I want that. I feel like this is not quite how I want to describe it yet. It'll be for the average business owner or this will be, yeah, this will be for the average person who could be struggling with getting their website off the ground at nearly any stage. You know, I'm going to leave that there for now. This will just be a rough draft. It'll be for the average person who could be struggling with getting their website off the ground at any stage. To start, though, find... Oh, no. Let me do that. F11. There we go. They should, man. It'd be a killer. I bet you they would, especially with Dr. Pepper in Texas. I'm going... Let's start this. Process by... Start this process at the beginning, like all websites do, as just an idea. You have your idea, and now it's time to make it a reality. Except here is the first major hurdle. As you might expect, though, this is going to be your first major hurdle. There are a lot of I don't want to say here. Your first major hurdle. There are a lot of different approaches to take, and each one has their own major advantages and disadvantages, just like all things. You'll edit it for me? Okay. I'll give you access, actually. You know what? Here. Let me pull this off screen real quick. I don't know what kind of information it's going to share. You'll have to. I need your email. And then I'll share it to you. Share it with you. The first approach is the DIY approach. All right, thanks, buddy. Share. All right, homie, you're an editor. I appreciate it. Boom, just like that. All right. The first approach is the DIY approach. And honestly, while I prefer this method, well, it's not necessarily true, because especially if you were to go, not necessarily WordPress, because WordPress is kind of trash, but say some other website builder like Wix or something, where they're very basic, that'll be a bit far easier to DIY. This kinda easy to, I have no idea. This and is that what I want to say? I don't know if that's what I want to say or not. This going on a website? Yeah, it's going on a website. It's going on Shay Develops website. That does this. Ooh, yeah. Check out the button. Ooh, so fancy. The first approach is DIY, and there are options here that can make this kind of easy or incredibly difficult. Can't even spell difficult. Oh man, difficult. That's what I meant. I swear. Okay, I got another person in here. Hello, other person. All right, let's see. The first person is DIY, and their options can make this kind of easy or incredibly difficult. To start with the, I'm gonna actually, let's just add the I really suggest you take, and that is creating. I started talking low for some reason. I don't even know why. Oh, it's my wife. Hey, babe. How's it going? I'll start with the most difficult first, and the one I really suggest you don't, not don't take, but just don't do. And that is building your own website from scratch. Unless, of course, you start with the most difficult first, and the one I really suggest, and what I really suggest you don't do, and that is building your own website from scratch. This requires learning in depth everything that this already, that this post is going to go over. At a shallow level. I think that's good. Alright, this requires learning everything in depth. This requires learning in depth everything that this post is going to go over at a shallow level. Got some people outside the window. Little girl. I wonder if that gets picked up on the mic or not. I'll start with the most difficult first, and the one I really suggest you don't do, and that's building your own website from scratch. This requires learning in depth everything that this post is going to go over at a shallow. Oh, you did hear? Nice. At a shallow level. This means learning multiple languages, how they interact with each other, security, hosting. I don't know if I want to put this. Brand new whip just hopped in. I'm very confused. Oh. Yeah, I didn't notice. All right, so this requires learning in depth everything that this post is going to go over at a shallow level. To go back to what I mentioned earlier, this post is not necessarily there's no way that's right. I'm bonkering that so bad. All right. To go back to what I mentioned earlier, this post is not necessarily targeted towards people who want to become a developer. Okay. We are going to continue with more viable approach to DIY. The next is getting familiar with a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. There you go. Editor of some kind. So what are you working on, babe? The next is getting familiar with the WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. Familiar with the WYSIWYG editor of some kind. This can be Word, Press, Wix, Shopify, and I'm sure there are many others. Out there. These sites make it easy, some more than others, to create a good-looking website without large upfront costs. Usually, the hosting of the site. I think I'm going to get some food and also let someone know that I think the AC unit is broke. Oh no, that's a bummer. Hosting of a site on these platforms. Don't large upfront costs. Usually the hosting of the site on these platforms is more expensive. Oh, and it's cold there too. Yeah, so that's a bummer. Usually the hosting the site on these platforms is more expensive. Is more expensive monthly, adding up. In the long term. Yeah, I'd definitely say wet cold's far worse. That being said, I mean, yeah, I'd probably be getting nosebleeds left and right with that dry cold. All right, usually those. Oh, it's exactly how I wrote my book too. Very slowly. Yeah. Well, that's good you haven't. Switch to third and fourth paragraph. Why would I do that? And you'll fix the sentence? Okay. There you go. Fix away. That's why I don't write. I code. And make my button do this. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, I know. I was going to go to the difficult option on purpose, so and then be like, "Don't do this. That's bad." Okay, do it up. And while you do that, I'm going to use the restroom, and I'll be right back in just a moment. So check out my my Be Right Back page. It's so amazing. Yeah, it's absolutely atrocious, actually. But yeah, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. All right. Did you fix it? Ah, okay. It's all good. That's why I'm the pro. But I appreciate all the help. I really do. All right. Usually the hosting on these platforms is more expensive monthly, adding up in the long term. It doesn't mean they are incredibly easy to use, just far less of a learning curve. Let's see here. What do I want to go into next? A semicolon, huh? All right. Let's see. This doesn't mean that they're incredibly easy to use. Just far less of a learning curve. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense there too. I just never thought to really use one ever. I'm at a loss of like what to go into. Because I said it took me forever to write my book, and this isn't even gonna be like a book size, but it's gonna be a fairly lengthy post. As far as, because really, how about I just tell you things and you write it out for me, right? Because the web development process is, like I said, you have this idea, and then in order to get it created, you have just a few different avenues that you can take. Like I said, the first is the DIY approach, and that's probably going to be your longest approach, just because of the learning curve of you having to do it and you having to do everything else. So what are your other other options for that? You could use for other DIY approaches. You could use, like I said, WordPress, Wix, or Shopify, or something like that. Yeah. Listen, I can spit it out like very well. It's just getting it onto the paper in a way that I think can convey that message simply. I think that's the ultimate goal, is to simply convey the message. I think that's how the vast majority of people could or will understand the content that you're trying to put out to people. See, I need a dictator. Is that not? I guess, is that a dictator? That's cool, man. I feel you. What are you gonna go play? Rust, or Rocket League. You're done with my second paragraph? Awesome. Thank you. It's far less of a learning curve. With several other options. I'll just leave it at that. I barely hear the kid. It's curious. How loud was it to y'all? Either Tarkov or yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can ask Kayla to edit it for me, since you're obviously way closer. Well, you give me her email and I'll share her to the project as an editor. I'm thinking about growing out my clown cut. Not really sure yet. And then throwing it out. I think that would be the ultimate clown move. My wife would love it. All right, back to business. Next is getting familiar with Twitter. Doesn't mean it's curve easy to use. Just far less of a learning curve. Likely though. But it's still likely, though, that as a website, it is still likely, though. Thank you. I'll add her. Yeah. that as a website gets more and more complex, will require someone share There we go. So require someone who is, I was going to say professional. It is likely, though, that as a website gets more and more complex, it will require a professional that understands the inner workings of that particular of that particular platform. I like that word, platform. That works. Does that describe to you, like, as far as the DIY approach? Like, I'm not going to go into how to DIY on every platform, but it's or any platform really, for that matter. That's not what I want to do here. I feel like that's enough information to go on to the next bit. Alright, bro. Go enjoy your game. Peace, dude. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. For reals. All right. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, and move on to the next paragraph. the option that most people consider too expensive is having a professional web developer build a site for them. Starting Pirate Donut City Club. All right. The option that most people consider too expensive is having a professional web developer build a site for them. This is especially true during the startup. I'm sorry if you hear that, but I can't help eating these. I'll mute it next time. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is especially true during the early stages of a business when they are, or when cash or when financing when cash is a I don't even know anymore. All right, I ate all my donuts. So, yum. All right. The option that most people consider too expensive is having a professional web developer build a site for them. This is especially true during the early stages of a business when cash is harder to come by. However, as a professional web developer. I feel like this isn't necessary. Oh god, that word again. Necessarily. Yes, I got it right. Oh yeah, go me. However, as a professional web developer, I feel like this isn't necessarily I need to get rid of Steam at the moment. Sorry, y'all. Exit. Oh. Quit Docker. Yeah, that's fine. Go away, Docker. Go away. I know. Go away. Nobody wants you. I know Docker stopped. Alright, I'll get rid of Blizzard. Get rid of Twitch. Get rid of Steam. Get rid of MySQL Workbench. No, I'll leave that. Okay. All right. However, as a professional web developer, I feel like this isn't necessarily true. And I want to help by both informing you as in what to expect and I feel like this isn't necessarily true, and I want to help by however, as a professional web developer, I feel like this isn't necessarily true, and I want to help by informing. Man, I'm at a loss here exactly what to say. By informing by removing or by clearing the mist behind all the technical jargon. And how to find a The option that most people consider too expensive is having a professional web developer build a site for them. This is especially true during the early stages of a business when cash is harder to come by. However, as a professional web developer, I feel like this isn't necessarily true, and I want to help by clearing the mist behind all the technical jargon. I think maybe I'll just leave it there. I think that sounds pretty good. Clearing the mist behind all the technical jargon. This will help you better understand, or better help you vet the developers that you're talking to. Yeah, this will help you better vet the developers you are talking to. I feel like that's good. For a brief paragraph, let's talk about developers. Developers and some of the types you are going to run that you may I want to say run into, I just want to say interact with, that you may interact with. Developers come in a few flavors, and there are some that are better there are some that are better than others when handling So developers come in a few flavors, and there are some that are better than others when handling when handling feels like when handling handling what though? We're handling customers, we're handling their clients, when handling the development of certain projects. For instance, a developer that likes to work on the cutting edge of technology could cost more due to that technology not being as widely available that hasn't like not widely available kind of that could cost more to do due to that technology not being adapted or not being as integrated into the current not being as integrated into the current system network not being as integrated into the current platform. I'll just put platform for lack of a better word at the moment. Developers come in a few flavors, and there are some that are better than others when handling the development of certain projects. For instance, a developer that likes to work on the cutting edge of technology could cost more due to that technology not being as integrated into the current platform. This could cause more bugs and a greater development time overall. This doesn't mean at all that I am putting down cutting edge technology developers. All developers should have an eye on the horizon and be looking towards the future. Oh, looks like Weiss texted me. Yeah, that's funny. Yep. It makes sense since my microphone is right next to. Here, oh no, and I'm not watching myself anymore. There we go. Go live. There we go. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. It's like a normal sneeze and I don't know why, but for some reason I felt like I get real sick to my stomach feeling, and then I'll sneeze, and then I'm fine. Like I just don't understand. All right. Been live for an hour and 43 minutes, and this is all I wrote because I'm a terrible writer. All right. All developers should have an eye on the horizon and be looking towards the future. The difference is developers should also have a firm understanding of a particular development The difference is developers should also have a firm understanding of a particular development stack. Rather than jumping from one, I guess I like nice. I should probably like this myself. How do I do that? I want to give it the thumbsies. I have no idea how to thumbs this up on my phone. Well, all good. Whoever did it, I appreciate it. All right. Stack rather than jumping from one to the next without fully understanding without a Let me read that again. The difference is developers should have a firm understanding of a particular development stack rather than jumping from one to the next. I think I can just leave it like that. Is that definitely what I want to say as a developer? Because I feel like a developer, we should know the fundamentals: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, how to use Ajax, PHP if we're wanting to learn that language. I feel like that language isn't necessary. You can get by without it, especially if you're going to use like Node or learn a much more embedded language like Java. something like that. So your development stack, though, it's basically gonna determine how you build a project and what your limitations are. And a developer should definitely know what their limitations are, how what they can and can't build from the technology that they're using. But I'm sure there's always a workaround for whatever. You could throw a wrapper around a basic website and turn it into an app with almost anything. So that being said, that's really shortened that technology gap as far as creating our different languages there. Now, where do I want to keep going with this? Rather than jumping from one to the next. It's like the saying, better to be it's basically better to have a developer that works with one development stack. It's basically better to have a developer that works with one development stack to what? It's basically better to have a developer that works with one development stack. Or not necessarily that works with one development stack, but that works with one development stack and is very proficient. Do developer types, and then it'll be something like it'll be like a heading 2, I feel like. Yum. All right. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, you're hopping up now. You're like, yeah, pick me up. Okay. So now that one dog's in my lap and one dog's behind me, should be able to do this live stream just fine. Alright, so it's basically better to have a developer that is proficient with one development stack. Do I need this last line? I'm not necessarily sure. Developers come in a few flavors, and there are some that are better than others when handling the development of certain projects. For instance, a developer that likes to work on the cutting edge of technology could cost more due to that technology not being as integrated into the current platforms. This could cause more bugs and greater development time overall. This doesn't mean that I'm putting down cutting edge technology developers. All developers should have an eye on the horizon and be looking towards the future. The difference is developers should also have a firm understanding of a particular development stack rather than jumping from one to the next. It's basically better to have a developer that is proficient with one development stack. I think because it's not necessary, because somebody who's just on that cutting edge and doing development is like not like they're a bad developer at all. They're actually probably a very, very, very good developer and do have an understanding. But if they want to constantly keep using that new age technology, it just really just depends on the project and if you need that technology for the project. If not, go to something that's far more robust and build it on that platform, like rather than something that's a bit untested, is basically all I'm saying. Yeah. Difference is developers should have a firm understanding of a particular development stack rather than jumping from one to the next. And then I said, yeah, I don't need to say that. There is a major exception, though. if oh, you gonna throw the ball? Throw the ball. Well, you know, drop it. Yeah, okay, there you go. Now I got it. You can't get it. I'm gonna throw it very far. All right. There's a major exception, though, if the website, or if the business needs a website that uses it's not necessarily explaining it great either. It's not necessarily because the website they major exception though is that it's that the website what there's a major exception if the business needs business needs require technology oh my goodness, dogs. There's a major exception. If the business needs require technology it is what? It is cutting edge and few developers are working on it. There is a major exception though. If a business needs require technology that is cutting edge, these developers are the ones that should be chosen to work on the project. I'm gonna leave it like that. I feel like I like it better than how they're trying to change my sentence. If the business needs technology that is cutting edge, if the business I would rather say if the business requires technology that is cutting edge, these developers are the ones that should be chosen to work on the project. This will not apply to %95 of small businesses trying to get a website or app. What is it, guys? There's a major exception though. If the business requires technology that is cutting edge, these developers are the ones that should be chosen to work on the project. This will not apply to 95% of small businesses trying to get a website or phone app This will not apply to 95% of small businesses trying to get a website or phone app developed. For a majority of people wanting I see. You won't even let me get the ball. So whatever. For a majority of people wanting to have there's a major exception. If this business requires technology that is cutting edge, developers are the ones that should be chosen to work on the project. This will not apply to 95% of small businesses trying to get a website or phone app developed. For a majority of people wanting to have majority of people need developers that are more niche, a bit more platform specific. This is something about like platform specific developers. They're gonna stick to a particular technology stack, and they're gonna develop on that technology stack. You look so sad over there, buddy, with your bottle cap and your food. Someone's just over here running around like crazy. Alright. The majority of people need developers that are more niche, a bit more platform specific. Developers I am. Is that very familiar with a single development stack? Yeah, the developers I'm talking about now are the ones that get very familiar with a single development stack. A development stack is nothing more than the technology used to get an idea to finished product. What is it, buddy? Why are you crying over there? Huh? What? Come here. What? What's your issue, buddy? Where's your malfunction? You broken? Are you broken, huh? You broken? I don't know why you don't play with your brother. Oh, hey. He's a lot of fun. And he wants to play with you, but you're an asshole. So, oh well for you, huh? Development stack is nothing more than the technology used to get an idea, or to get an idea to a finished product. An example being what? Come here. You gotta come here. I'm not going over there to you. You gotta come here. A development snack is nothing more than the technology used to get an idea to a finished product. Ow. Oh, hey, that hurt my toes. Come here, Twix. Come here. Development snack is nothing more than the technology used to get an idea to a finished product. For example, I use Spring Boot for most of my development projects. This framework is built using Java and it allows me to build websites using I didn't put DIY, I need to put DIY. We'll put sorta easy. Or kinda easy. Using other technologies like MySQL to connect and save data to a database, or or Ajax that allows the seamless execution of forms without it allows the seamless execution of forms without the visitor having to to notice that anything had happened. That anything, well, not that anything happened, but that anything, without the visitor having to reload their web page, reload the web page, without the visitor having the web page reload on them and disrupt their browsing experience. There's a lot more technologies that go into a step there. Stacks out there that do a lot of the same thing. Yeah, I'd probably say there are a lot more technologies that go into a stack, and there are many different development stacks out there that do a lot of the same thing. Yeah, I hear you. Hold on. What's important is finding a competent developer that can explain what. Hey, buddy, if you're gonna cry, come over here and like play or something, or like, come on and be part of what's going on. Don't just sit over there and just cry in a corner. Nobody likes that. Okay? Nobody likes that. Come here. Come play with your brother Lohay. I don't understand. You guys will play for like 15 seconds a week. I don't get it. I'm done throwing the ball just for a minute, buddy. I'm gonna finish up this last little bit of the paragraph, and I think I'm going to take a short break and come back very soon. Let's see. What's important is finding a competent developer that can explain the different parts of the technology they work with and how it will be used. To create your project. Different parts of technology they work with and how to use it to create your project. What is it, buddy? Yeah. Is it time that I don't understand? Because yeah. All right. Well, if anybody's out there, I am gonna have to take a bit of a break and deal with this little whining dog for a little bit, and use restroom, take a short little break. Oh my goodness, Lowhead, that's enough, buddy. That's too loud. Jeez, that's a lot of echo. All right, so I'm sorry for blowing out your eardrums right there. Lowhead doesn't know what he's doing. All right. Anyway, I'll be back, but I think I'm gonna end the stream for now, and then whenever I come back, we're definitely going to continue development process. I've got some more stuff that I'll have to work on, but super excited to continue on, and we'll be back live soon-ish. Yeah. All right. Take care.